Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Well, today, I'm back after a long time on HBMA Live. So thank you very much if you are about to join or you have already joined HBMA. HBMA Live is an effort to drive membership to HBMA. And we invite our guests time to time to give the industry knowledge, foster innovation, and helping medical billing companies and medical billers across the globe. Well, I welcome you today. I'm going to be hosting this HBMA Live, and we have some amazing conversation you can expect in next few minutes. But before that, I want to give you some idea what we are doing here and what are the latest updates about HBMA. In last few months, HBMA has come up with an very innovative idea to launch an innovation committee. The purpose of innovation committee is to foster innovation amongst the medical billing companies and our peer group. In this whole exercise of fostering innovation through a structured peer group, which is called innovation committee, I found an opportunity to be the first chair of that innovation committee. We are going to invite vendors who are doing some disruptive work in the healthcare arena, in the healthcare space, and especially in medical billing and coding space. Our second innovation conference is scheduled on March 5th to 7th in Wyndham Resort and Spa in Tucson, Arizona. We invite all of you to go on our website called hbma.org, hbma.org, and you can register yourself for that conference. We are going to have an amazing program, which is also listed on HBMA website. One of the unique program is called Vendor Showcase, in which about 10 to 12 amazing disrupting technologies in AI, in ChatGPT, in RPA. These vendors are going to give 10 minutes each presentation. And that presentation will give you an opportunity to learn what type of disruptions are happening in healthcare revenue cycle management. Well, with this, I'm also very excited because our guest today is somebody whom I met last time in HBMA conference, and since then we have become very good friends. Let me introduce you Jonathan Gerber. He is the founder and CEO of MEDCOR. And his company is a mid-size, even larger size, I would suggest, a billing company, and especially in the field of FQHC. And I'm going to let him speak a little bit about himself and his experience and his wisdom. And most importantly, I'm going to interview him today on some of the innovation he is spearheading in his company as a president, as a CEO, in the direction of RPA and how RPA is helping his company at this moment. So with this, let me invite you, Jonathan, in the room. Welcome, Jonathan.
Very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Very excited to be able to talk a little bit about what we're going to be speaking on at the Innovation Conference on March 5th to the 7th. I think we're on the second day.
So I'm very excited, John, to talk to you. Please give us a little bit about your experience. You have huge revenue cycle management experience plus healthcare experience. So I want our audience to first know a little bit about yourself.
Okay. So I fell into revenue cycle or medical billing very serendipitously. And I want to be, for sake of transparency, I don't really know a lot about medical billing per se, but I run a company, I own it, I founded it as a mechanism to meet a need that was in the community. So my background was a hospital executive where I was the chief operating officer for Adventist Health Hospital System medical groups on the West Coast, from San Diego and Los Angeles regions, Orange County regions. After serving as a CEO there, I then became a consultant, and we were doing M&A work and valuations for those hospitals that wanted to buy or sell those medical groups. And the chief question was, well, where's all the revenue at? And it keeps coming back down to medical billing. And so that's how we got started. They wanted us to take over the medical billing, and we don't know how to do medical billing. Said, well, we can manage people, and we ended up managing these medical billings. And finally, I gave in and bought my very first company. And now we are all across the United States. We have just over 100 people. We're located here in the city of Orange in Southern California, right next to Disneyland in Anaheim. So that's where we're at today.
Fantastic.
And by the way, we only work in the FQHC market. So that's federally qualified health center, community health centers, and rural health centers.
So tell me a little bit about your love for technology, because I know when we were discussing about it, you were planning to hire more people offshore. And then, but you were not very sure that, manual, a lot of these manual workforce would be replaced by AI. So what made you decide to kind of look into this AI and RPA and explain RPA in a very simple language, because a lot of these people, new billers, they don't know what RPA is. So explain that in a very simple language, simple definition, how it helps medical billing company, and how did you look into it?
Okay, so let me answer your last question first, and then I'll go back to the motivation. RPA stands for repetitive process automation. It's very simple.
It's not robotic process automation now.
Yeah, repetitive process automation. It's not artificial intelligence. Right. Even though it's in the AI bucket, it really is not artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence really is sentient intelligence, and it can operate on its own or has learned behavior.
Right.
RPA is really nothing more than a mathematical formula. It's an algorithm that follows the same process over and over and over again. So if it's a repetitive process, then you can automate it and you can create efficiencies. You can lower your staff costs. And so then that leads me to, why did we do it? About 4 or 5 years ago, I was at the conference the HPMA conference in Phoenix, I believe. And I heard a gentleman talk. His name was Rob Gontarek. He talked about automating payment posting. And as I was sitting there watching this, and I was a much smaller RCM company at that time, I was thinking to myself, my God, there's a robot that is payment posting. I'm going to lose all my business, and I better figure out how to do this. So we started on this journey about 3.5 years ago. It was very arduous, a lot of hiccups, a lot of hit and misses. But last year we were able to begin our first deployment, and it has really changed how we do our business today. The motivation is very simple. Like most people that own their businesses, you're always looking to reduce your costs, but you're looking to increase scalability as you get new clients. You're looking for critical mass or ability to scale. And so RPA, even though there is an offshore opportunity to shift manpower overseas, I think that the RPA provides you a little more control in-house right now. Now, having said that, I think most RCM companies, as you grow and you scale, you can't avoid going offshore. You can't avoid RPA. If you're going to grow, you're going to survive and be sustainable, you're going to have a hybrid model where you utilize all of those services. So I think that's the model for the future, is being able to evoke
a combination of
yes,
like so combination of technology and human intelligence supervising it.
Absolutely.
So what was when, like 3 years ago, the thought came to your mind, of course, because you met somebody in HPMA. But did you guys evaluate the size of your company? You said you were too small at that time. Now, a lot of these people and a lot of companies like us, we go back and see the technology and the cost of implementing that technology. Where do you see the starting point? Like, what should be the minimum size of company who should consider adopting RPA? Like in terms of claims or volumes or people or like revenue? Is there like a minimum size of the company?
That's a really great question, and it's a very difficult question to answer. Well, we didn't know any better. We were really kind of ignorant. It was a great idea. It sounded very cool. And as we began to start this, we didn't really focus on a very specific thing. We were just looking at RPA is a huge, it's the Grand Canyon. And
Right.
so we eventually, a lot of starts and misses, we started on payment posting. And then we were looking at eligibility, and that didn't really work for us. And so I said, well, look, what's going to impact our manpower or our payroll the most? And that's where we came up with charge entry and payment posting. I will tell you, it is a heavy lift, and it is really, really expensive, especially the way we did it, which is probably the way most companies who are not involved in RPA are going to do it, because they don't know what they don't know.
Right.
And so it costs us a lot of money. And when you ask the question, what would be the minimum size company? I actually don't know the answer to that, because if you were to do eligibility, I don't know that it would matter what size of
Is
company
there
you are.
like kind of a estimated cost for one bot,
Yes, I can tell you that.
and which is
Yeah, a current bot, if you use, let's just use UiPath,
right,
because they're the premier
right,
platform in which the bots can operate on, and you have to buy your bots from them. So a bot is in two classes: attended and unattended. All right,
right.
and attended is going to be much cheaper. It's going to cost you about $150 to $200 a month per bot. Now,
Per
don't
bot.
forget that bot can run 1,300 claims in 24 hours. Okay,
Okay.
depending
So
upon how
one bot,
complex it is.
and how much would be the implementation cost, like ballpark? You can
Oh,
implement yourself, or you need third-party IT
well,
guys, or
if you're not a coder, programmer, developer, you're going to need expertise. And I would recommend that you find that expert. And there's a lot of it out there. I
right,
mean, I'm not going to give you any names right now, but
right,
we went through 3 or 4 iterations of between offshore developers to domestic developers. We even utilized UiPath. We did not have any tech support in house, so we had no tech capacity at that time. So we ended up having to outsource that expertise. And that probably was a really good idea to do that, because we didn't need them full time, but we needed them part time. Let me just throw out a couple of numbers for you. Our first year was almost $500,000 in development costs. That's just technology. That's
technology.
people developing it. Today, we are processing 500,000 claims a year, and we expect to go to 1 million claims probably within the next 90 days. At 500,000 claims, because we brought in our own programmer developer to continue to do more development, we're not breaking even yet. However, if you look at the costs of processing a claim with a bot, it's about 4 cents per claim versus a human at $20 an hour. That cost could be is going to be much higher than that. If you're getting $4 or $5, if it's per claim amount, obviously you can see the difference in that. So a $20 an hour employee is running at $5,000 a month, less allocations. So you can see the huge difference that you can achieve in efficiency. And you don't do vacations. There's no workers' comp. There's no maternity leave. There's no disability. You don't have to give raises. Your footprint on geography or lease rates are going to be down. So the value adds that you generate by doing RPA or bot technology is massive, and it's endless. And the more you do, the lower your cost is on a per unit basis.
Oh, that's a fantastic thing. So you said in the beginning that you changed 3 or 4 vendors. Now, did you make that change because you were not satisfied with the decisions you made previously, or it is just a process that you find different type of vendors to do different things?
Yeah, I think it's both. First of all, when we started, there were coders and programmers and developers who, quote, understood RPA. However, they had never done programming or development for charge entry. So if you're a primary care RCM provider, you would not have found a coder developer that really had programmed a bot to do charge entry. They had they're coders and programmers, but they don't understand, and they're not. By the way, they are not subject matter expertise. That's you. That's
Right.
your team. So you have to spend a lot of time. It's a huge lift to be able to sit down with a coder, programmer, developer to show them how that process is. So you have to map your process out. Uh,
All of that. So when you do that, I mean, because I know everybody is busy when you take up something like this, you need to, you know, find some resources within your organization who can take up this daunting task. It's not easy because you're busy with your existing clients. It's going to disrupt your existing process. So tell us a little bit, how did you guys plan for it? So if anybody who wants to really plan, even no matter small or big, what was the process of planning, implementing? I know you knew very much that this is going to happen. We're thinking of a long term for next 5 years. If we don't implement it now, we would be out of the market. Somebody else will do it.
Well, that was part of our problem. We didn't plan, so so it was kind of like, hey, let's just do this and see what happens, right? It was terrible.
Yeah.
Honestly, we were just not very strategic about it, but we became very strategic as a result of it. So I will tell you, your subject matter expertise, whether it's a supervisor where they have the time for it, or it is one of your medical billers who is a specialist that understands full rev cycle, or it minimally understands the charge entry side of it. So find that person on your team that can do that, and they're going to have to spend the time with a coder, programmer, developer to design the algorithm by which the bot has to run.
But basically, so I'm getting three things. One is it's repetitive automation process or repetitive process automation. So you need to identify those areas, just like you identified charge entry and payment posting. So any billing company needs to identify the core areas which are more repetitive. And when you put these bots, are they like you have to buy minimum one license, two license, or minimum five license, or you can start with one or two?
Yeah, interesting. And this is not a pitch for UiPath, but this is my experience. UiPath has a introductory platform, and I'm
Uh-huh.
sure other, like
Right.
maybe Microsoft does too, where you
Right.
can actually do it for free.
Okay.
Uh, and I mean, you have to pay for the bot, but you don't pay for the platform. So we did that for probably 6 or 8 months. It
Mhm.
really cost us almost nothing to do it, so we could
Uh-huh.
test it. It's a testing platform, but you can actually
Perfect.
use it to process
Right.
claims.
That's fantastic. That is a fantastic, because then small companies can look at it. They can put one resource out there, and that resource can look into it. Now, um, when it comes to the automation, and after that, when you see the results and outcomes, how satisfied you were from the first outcome or the second outcome?
Yeah, well, a bit disappointing
Yeah.
because we didn't know what we were doing. We were writing, it wasn't what we call holistic architecture. It was very specific for this one particular client who was going to be our beta test. Uh, it we were probably getting 40% efficiency rate. By comparison today, it's now 88%. So any
Mhm.
client that we deploy a bot on for charge entry, we get 88% compliance. And I expect might get to 90. But for the audience, don't think that you're going to get 100%. That's not going to happen. All right, you're going to get, if you get 70%, even if you get 60%, think about
Yeah.
it this way. Look at the FTE savings you get if you have a lot of volume. That's a
Right.
lot of FTE cost savings. So, but
Right.
70% would not be unreasonable.
Right.
We hit 70% fairly quickly
Mhm.
after our testing, and we ran some beta. Yeah. By the way, this is a do one, 3-1, and and see how it goes. It's a lot
Mhm.
of testing.
And then, so when you do this, one of the reasons people like to hesitate implementing new technology is they are not kind of 100% um, assured that this technology will work. So it takes a lot of time and courage to take that risk. And I'm sure you had that risk bearing
Mhm.
capacity, and you said, let's do it. But you mentioned that UiPath or probably similar softwares, they have a beta packs which you can use as a launching pad. So that's a good one for people who are listening, that they can do that. And then how much manual effort now, after implementing, you said 70-80%, you are satisfied. Now rest 20-30%, is it more supervision, or there are errors or mistakes which bots make, and you guys go ahead and check it and fix it?
Yeah,
How-
you're always going to have claims that just kind of fall outside of the norm, whether it's demographics or there's a change in plan, or they may have different modifiers that are required. So you're never going to get 100% on that. I would tell you that we're going to be speaking at the conference. We're going to show you exactly what we did.
how the
We're going to
bot
tell you
works?
the costs. We're going to have a video for you. You can actually see the bot working. It works at a 3-to-1 ratio. So if you have a human, a bot can do 3 times as fast or 5 times as fast. It's very exciting to watch.
Fantastic. So that's why people, guys, you need to attend the conference, because you would see the entire video with John and his team would be showing up and how the bots work. So that is a great opportunity for smaller and bigger companies, those who wants to come and have a live experience.
Yeah, and
Um,
Kunal, we're bringing the entire team down, so
uh-huh.
a lot of
Okay,
opportunity
great.
for Q&A. If you have Q&A, they'll be there. You can ask them. We're bringing the programmer down. We're bringing the ops person down. We're bringing down our subject matter expertise people. So please don't feel
Fantastic.
bad at all by talking to us. We're happy to share that
You
information.
you you are doing an amazing service for our industry by doing that. I can tell you, because people are going to have a lot of questions. I myself is very excited, and
Yeah,
we'll
we
see
just
a
want
lot
to
of.
share the journey. We don't
Yes,
have anything to sell. We just want to
right,
share with you what happened and how
exactly.
it could impact you.
How's the learning curve is, and how does it impact individuals, and how are your clients taking it when you announce this to your clients? What's their reaction?
They don't know what it means. they, they, they don't know. All they know is that, gee, our denials are going down, right? We went from 7% to as low as 2%, or their
Wow.
days in AR have shortened, or their
Yeah.
overall
What
aging
happens? The
rolling
magic
over.
wand.
Yeah,
What is that magic wand? They
yeah.
don't ask.
Unintended consequences, value adds.
So when you implement bots, you don't have to tell or disclose it to your clients.
Oh no, we do. We
You do.
tell them, because you need them to allow you access into their system. The
Correct.
bots are working independently.
Okay. So okay, fantastic. So and you don't find any resistance from them.
Well, no, I didn't say that. Okay. First of
Okay,
all,
let's talk about that.
they
That's
don't
interesting.
understand the language, number one, and their
Uh,
concern is, will it do something to our integrity, and what about PHI? And yeah, so it's a learning curve.
uh,
It's like it's like a ninja, operating in their system. They don't know
yeah,
what it really means, and stuff happens,
yeah,
and they have to be assured that nothing bad is going to happen.
right. And what's their reaction for that when they say, "Oh, no, you guys are not working. It's the bot which is working. Give us some discount."
Yeah, well, that hasn't happened yet. But what it does is it keeps us from saying, "Look, we already built in the discount when we
Yeah.
negotiated the rate, because we
Uh-huh.
know that we can do that." Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I think we had a great session, and we are going to look forward for your real life session during the conference. I don't have many questions. If anybody has any questions, please ask. You can put it in the comment box, and I can have a questions
Hmm.
taken um, for John. And if not, please see us during the conference. You can go to this website. It's right there, hbma.org. And then there is one more. Okay, perfect. So here is a meeting calendar. There's a whole detail on the website. You can see the agenda over there, different schedules. It's 3 days, 5th, 6th, and 7th, and there's a party one of those nights. So me and John, we're looking forward to have a party with everybody. And thank you very much for watching today's HBMA Live. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Good done.